Hey guys, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. So for today's pick a card, we are doing a very interesting and special reading because it is somewhat close to my heart. For my life, most of my closest friends, I could say, have been members of my soul family. And so we're doing a reading about that today, the next member of your soul family to come into play. So let's see. So we have 4 groups in front of us. This is basically going to be discussing who's the next person that you're going to have a soul connection with. That could be anything from a love interest to, maybe this could even be like a pet that you find or something like that. But we're basically going to be covering the personality of this person. And we'll see what else comes up. So we have 4 groups in front of us. Our first group is Spirit Quartz. Our second group is Pink Tourmaline. Our third group is Black Kyanite. And our last and fourth group is Blue Apatite. So take all the time you need to pick your crystal. You can pause the video here if you need to. After this moment where you select your crystal, we're going to get started, starting with group number 1, and we'll get into who is the next member of your soul family that you are going to meet. All right, let's get into it, starting with group number 1, the Spirit Quartz. Hey, group 1, this is if you picked the Spirit Quartz right there. Really pretty stone. Okay, I'm gonna take off my bracelet and let's get into the reading. So we're gonna do the tarot cards on camera. We already drew your oracle cards for you. All of them flipped up upright, so the cards have some pretty direct messages they want to get across to you guys today. We have Giraffe Spirit, see the big picture, Confusion for your love story oracle card, Queen for your archetype card, and then I was thinking of pulling only 1 Moonology card, but 2 came out, so we'll just go with that. We have First Quarter Moon in Scorpio, Release Your Blocks, and we have Full Moon in Aquarius, Be Real. So I am looking at these somewhat as timing, but I don't like to stick to those as like hard rules, basically, as like for timing of the situation, because it could really happen whenever this person's really meant to come into your life. And it is a general reading. People will be watching it at all different times too, so. Let's get into this and start with get your tarot cards into the picture. We have these 2. We'll get 3 more. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Emperor and the Hangman. Okay, we have a pretty straightforward reading here, so let me get into it. So first, the next member of your soul family that is coming into view. What should I start with? Let's start with the Queen card real quick. This person is going to have kind of more of a royal nature, they're going to seem, how do I put this? Like extra cool, I guess you could say. So they're just going to have kind of like an attitude about them that gives them a sense of dignity, I guess is the best way to put it. So this will probably be a friend that you're like very proud to have as your friend. You're going to feel like royalty when you're with them. I'm saying friend because I am seeing more of a friendship vibe for a lot of you who picked this pile, but this could be romantic. It really could go either way, but I'm definitely seeing more of a friendship type of thing. With the Queen here, this person has like a royal nature to them. And it says radiate the regal feminine, which also makes me think of kind of like a nurturing kind of component to it. Yeah, right here in the shadow attributes, we have becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. It's interesting that the Queen card came up for this because this is more of an attitude rather than being controlling and demanding of this person. This is more an attitude of like their general nature. Like they feel like a queen. They have a really high self-esteem and they have really strong self-respect for themselves. What we see here with the Emperor and release your blocks, this person mainly when they first come into your life, you're going to feel a lot of things lifted. That's how you're going to know this person's your soulmate. There's going to be a lot of blocks that are like in your life that you're dealing with at this given time that this person comes in. And remember, this is the next person coming in. So you'll be dealing with a few blocks or something along those lines. And with the Emperor reverse, this is dealing with kind of like control issues. And in being in reverse, this is basically saying that there's going to be certain aspects of your life that either you have too tight of a control over, or someone in your life has too tight of a control over you. This person is going to be your liberator, either from your own controlling attitudes or from the controlling attitudes of a third party that's kind of affecting you. So with release your blocks, they're kind of getting you to be free flowing again. Whatever way this controlling nature has happened, whether it's someone else doing it to you or like you're overly controlling your own life, they're going to get you to be more spontaneous, more free flowing, more spur of the moment, right? With the Emperor reverse, I'm definitely getting more of a less structured vibe, less of a foundational build, and more of like a free flowing. With this confusion card right here, I definitely see this cloud as kind of a good, and these atoms flying around. It's kind of like a focus of this connection. It's very like a clouded kind of like head in the sky kind of thing. You even get the giraffe spirit here with the giraffes being really tall creatures, their head extending far into the clouds. This person's really going to get you to open up in the most dreamlike sense, basically, and get your thoughts to explore and expand outward. Yeah, with Giraffe Spirit, what we see here is that this gets you to see the bigger picture on things, right? Just by them basically freeing you up from certain either responsibilities or controlling, or whether you're in a place in your life where you're overly controlling your life, or whether you're in a place in your life where something outside yourself is overly controlling you, this person's going to get you to see the bigger picture. See that there's more to life than these kind of like tightly confined boxes that you're either putting things in your life into or someone's putting you into, you know? So whether it's they're liberating you or they're bringing liberation to you, you're going to have this kind of sense of freedom, of feeling like head in the clouds. You're going to feel very tall and very elevated. Like I said, with the Queen and the Giraffe Spirit, it's kind of like this sense of royalty, I guess, as you could say. Like, think of yourself in a high position, or kind of like, it's almost like you'll be looking down on others, not really in a bad or a negative way. You're just going to be kind of seeing things from a greater, higher perspective. You know, you won't need to like focus on the minute details or minutia of different things. And that's what this person's going to kind of bring you with this release your blocks card. That's kind of the first element of your connection when this person comes into your life. With the Hangman here in reverse, we have this element of like things happening in a quicker pace, like a block being like, how do I put this? Like a block being broken. With release your blocks here, we have this on just like the control level that I was talking about, but also on the knowledge level. This Hangman in particular in this deck, she's looking at these like runes, right? And runes are kind of an ancient like language of like knowledge is how I see it. And kind of they all have like meaning to them, and they can kind of be used in different ways. So this is going to have like, this relationship's going to have on one hand a lot of meaning to you, and on the other hand, this soul connection is going to have a lot of knowledge, like knowledge-based kind of connection. Like you might study a lot with this person, or you might kind of deal like I can think of the only thing that comes to mind right now is like crossword puzzles or like video games or any kind of intellectual interest. You guys might read the same type of books and exchange books with each other. There's going to be a lot of intellectual interest being exchanged between both of you. This could lead to a lot of like strategic problem solving in the connection, which is different than controlling things in your life. It's less a focus of like stability and more a focus of adventure, but like intellectual adventure. With the Five of Swords here, we see that this person, it's interesting. If you've ever felt in your life or you've suffered from headaches or you've been feeling like head pain in your temples or anything like that. This person's coming in to relieve that. This kind of like unblocking of your intellectual side and kind of like collaboration with someone. I can see for some of you that you haven't really had a connection like this in a really long time, that you haven't really had like an intellectual connection with someone in quite a while. And the thing is, it's going to be like really wonderful because they're going to unblock a lot of blocks, not just in like the controlling aspects of your mind, but through all of these elements, right? You can kind of think of all these reverse cards as blocks, I guess you could say, that are getting unblocked through this connection. So with the Five of Swords, it's just indicating that this kind of like headache, or like if you look at this guy upright, he has this kind of like head pain and the crow's kind of there. There's this guy in the background who's liberated. Think of yourself becoming liberated by this person. Yeah, this soul family connection is going to be really wonderful because this is someone that in a past life, that when you guys have souls have traveled together, you did solve problems together. Like you could have been in a past life and maybe more of a recent past life. Like maybe you were both police officers and you helped each other solve crimes. Like you were co-detectives, I guess you could say. Or maybe in like prehistoric societies and stuff, you helped decode different languages, or you were translators or something like that. There's definitely a lot of like discovering hidden secrets in the universe is coming through pretty strongly for some of you. But yeah, with See the Big Picture, they're going to help you see the whole view of things, right? Not just the little details, the little things you're trying to control on the like the little minutia. They're going to help you see the entire bigger picture of everything. With the Hierophant in reverse here, this is a relationship that is quite unconventional, and they're going to be able to help you get to see the unconventional side and everything else as well. That's also with the Draft Spirit saying the bigger picture. You're seeing more things that fit into the world or your world view, basically. This Hierophant card in particular can talk about spiritual ascension or meditation, or like this guy is particularly is very like happy or overjoyed. And it's about climbing the ladder into like spiritual ascension. In reverse, you can think of this as like being not necessarily like ascending spiritually, but kind of like using the mind to kind of ascend. Like think of this as kind of going within to get that wisdom and understanding instead of looking from without. Yeah, another reason why this is unconventional, another reason this is paired up with the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups can indicate kind of like a disappointment or kind of something of looking at the glass as half full. But this person, basically what this is saying right here is person's kind of coming into your life to show you that it is okay to be negative. It is okay to have a negative view of things. It is okay to, be pessimistic sometimes. It is okay to kind of let yourself be a little melancholic. You can let yourself kind of be down in the dumps a little bit just to purge it out, right? This woman is tilting these cups into this black hole, and there's a light in this hole, right? So it's being absorbed by kind of like a sense of goodness. So even if you're being negative, the universe is absorbing those reactions and those feelings, and it's translating those into positive vibes. So you don't have to worry too much about being overly fake or overly happy with this person. Like you can be your real self. And that brings me to full moon in Aquarius over here where it says be real. This person just wants you to be your real self, right? That's the next person coming into your soul family, is to get you to be more like who you truly are. I can see here with this Emperor card and releasing your blocks, you were either in a relationship that someone was like controlling of you, and they were kind of like guiding your every which move, and you were kind of being subservient to them and not holding your own in your own power or letting yourself be free of that. And this person's here to come liberate you from those ingrained patterns. And for some of you, it's probably an ex or someone that you're trying to get over, and those patterns of being controlled are still in you, and this person's here to like liberate those, right? For others of you who are overly controlling in your own lives, who kind of took on that element of control to control your environment, this person's going to help release some of that kind of control that you've been having on your environment. And being real is like being real to yourself. Maybe you're being overly controlling in an effort to kind of, maybe something happened, possibly traumatic, or some kind of thing that happened to you where you felt like you needed to start controlling everything and everyone in your environment and your situations just to have some kind of control of your life. Well, this person's going to bring in that positivity to get you so you don't have to feel like you have that kind of basically control, or you need to have that kind of control anymore. You know, with see the bigger picture, they're going to say that like having a perspective of like everything is going to help a lot more than having control over everything. Just being able to see everything is a bigger and more important than having control over it. And being real is just, they're taking you back to that kind of mindset of being an observer, right? Rather than someone who's kind of like holding on tightly to different things in your environment. They're bringing you back into this persona, basically, of someone who's kind of more observing, more free-flowing, more spontaneous. And that's kind of, they're trying to get you to be more like your real self, who you used to be, basically. And sometimes that includes being just kind of like negative, you know, like being like, if you feel like being negative, you know, this person's really going to accept that. And like I said, you're going to feel like your status is elevated with this person, but we do have the Queen card. And this just indicates that like, there's really going to be a strong sense of like empowerment with this person, with this new member of your soul family. With Giraffe Spirit, I might want to mention this person could be very tall, like height-wise. Yeah, let me see if there's anything else I can see. I'm noticing the colors here for the chakras, this pink and red kind of color and the orange color. And then the greens over here. So this person might help you activate and work through your root, sacral, and your heart chakra. One thing I am seeing, though, that could be a kind of aspect in this connection that's not exactly perfect. Trust me, not every soul member of our soul family is going to be like our perfect 100% perfectly compatible soulmate. You know, we have like differences and opinions with our members of our soul family, like anyone, right? You could have someone who's really close to you, but you might have like differences of opinions or things that are, you know, blocks or something to get over. And this one thing right here, we have this confusion card, right? This is just indicating that at sometimes this connection could be somewhat confusing, especially when it gets very heady. It's going to feel very liberating. So it's almost like it's not going to be a confusion that causes headaches. Sometimes you think of confusion like feeling so confused that you get a headache. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be confusion that's stimulating and mind expanding. So not mind contracting, mind expanding. If you have not experienced confusion like this in the past, this is going to be an eye-opener for you, because confusion of this kind of like, it's kind of, how do I put this? Instead of feeling like your mind's being shut down, you're going to feel like your mind's being expanded. And it can kind of feel overwhelming sometimes when you're used to having kind of control or confines on your mind, to have your mind expanded like that. But it really is kind of one of these better things in this connection. I think you're going to grow to love it with this person and love the fact that you guys can kind of expand and expound upon each other's mental cogitations. Is that the right word? Where you guys can actually like build off of each other, right? It's like with one of you, your mind power can only go so far. But when you add to each other's mind power, it's like both of your minds expand to these like look at this woman, like her head is kind of exploding and there's like a neuron right there. And she's just kind of like, you know, it's just, her mind's kind of like expanding. And so you can think of that as like a mind expanding person. For some of you who have like never done drugs before, you're going to think like must be what drugs feel like, because this person's going to expand your mind so much that it's going to feel almost out of this world. Yeah, with Be Real, full moon in Aquarius, and first quarter moon in Scorpio, we have Scorpio and Aquarius, a water and an air sign, which indicates kind of like a quarter, like a square point, right? Which can be somewhat like kind of like disharmonious. But I'm just seeing that only in this element of confusion, where it's going to feel like different at first, right? Yeah, I'm trying to think if I see anything else. As far as timing goes, when the first quarter moon is in Scorpio or when the full moon is in Aquarius, this could be a time when you're meeting your person or when you go through pivotal changes with them after you meet them. Yeah, and I think I mentioned with the Emperor card here with the sacral chakra is also showing up on this card. There's a small symbol right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that is the symbol for the sacral chakra. And with the Emperor reversed here, I was getting that sacral vibe as well. So this person might help you expand on your creativity, like as far as creative projects go, and as far as getting you more free-flowing and more spontaneous. The main thing with this person is they're trying to show you that it's almost like premature sometimes to have a structure, or it's almost sometimes unnecessary to kind of order or structure your life. You can maybe get a lot more done by just observing the bigger picture and letting yourself flow very spontaneously within your world, right? And that's going to release a lot of blocks. I see that at some point you used to be very spontaneous, very kind of go with the flow, free flowing person. But then this person's going to kind of bring you back to that. It's kind of like you got lost on the way. Maybe you encountered some karmic connections, or you encountered some people who kind of like put up those blocks in you, especially if you were this person that was with a controlling person. This person is going to be like so liberating for you, because it's going to reorient your mindset from that kind of submissive, controlled attitude to a more free, expansive, kind of like creative mindset, basically. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm trying to see if I see anything else. And I think I've got most of it covered. Yeah, there are like some flips and turns with the mind stuff, right? We have this release of the headaches here. We have ascension, but an inward ascension. And then we also have the mind expanding outward with like ideas and understanding. And we also have this like idea of cosmic knowledge or something like that. So this is a very intellectual, very heady connection. But a powerful connection too. Like, I feel like when you're walking down the street with this friend by your side, you're going to feel so cool and empowered. You're going to be like, wow, this is my friend. Or if you're dating this person, if you guys decide to get romantic, like, wow, this is my boyfriend. This is my girlfriend. This is my person, right? This is my person. And like, we're so cool. I'm so thankful to have this person. You know, this is someone who's going to make you feel like you have a higher status than you already do. Whatever that means to you. So whatever people in society that you kind of view as like, I don't know if above you is the right word, the people that you admire and respect, basically, that you see as royalty, that's the type of person that's kind of coming into your view, or that you're going to kind of make a connection with. I think it's going to be kind of surprising. This connection is going to seem kind of surprising to a lot of you. And they're really going to get you to be like you. You know, they're really going to get you to be back to the way that you were, or back to the way that you feel most comfortable. Oh, this is like best friend vibes. This is definitely someone in your soul family, because they're so good for you. I see that in like other lifetimes too. This person came back to you to help you heal wounds of your past. Like, this person's also kind of like a healer for you. Like, they're the person in your soul family that's the healer. Like, they're coming back to like correct all the wounds that have happened with someone else, or with like your life circumstances. They kind of come in your life when like times get tough, right? And they come in and they kind of like reorient you, basically, with see the big picture. They kind of get you to see the whole picture of your life. This person could be good at like getting you to review the past and realize why it all had to happen to come up to this point. Or they could be good at focusing you on bigger and brighter goals and forgetting the past completely, you know? Wow, very cool connection. Oh, I'm so glad I did this reading, because like this was a really... like, soul family is like so beautiful, because like, you know, you guys are soulmates, you traveled together before, and so like you're here again, you're meeting again, so that's really cool. So if you like that reading, feel free to like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick-a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. With that said, that was the end of the reading, and we're going to move on to group 2 with the pink Tourmaline. Hey, group 2, this is if you picked the pink Tourmaline. So this one's actually pretty red Tourmaline. It's like maroon Tourmaline. But when I bought it, it was labeled as pink Tourmaline, so we'll call it that. Let's get into your reading. So I already pre-drew oracle cards. This one did not flip up upright, so I'm leaving that face down for now. And let's get into the other ones that we have. We have Full Moon and Scorpio, Breathe Through the Tension, Turkey Spirit, Give with Gratitude and Grace, Balance, and Child Orphan. So this reading, just once again, if you missed the intro, this is who is in your soul family. Before we go into that, I'm going to shuffle tarot cards on camera today, and then after that, we'll flip over all your cards and get into it. I'm going to have to draw 2 for there, and we'll draw 2 for there. Okay, let's flip over the rest of your cards. We have the High Priestess, Four of Wands reversed, the Emperor upright, and the Hierophant upright. Last group got these 3 cards. This is sometimes why I like to do shuffle tarot cards for like multiple groups, because sometimes there's like common themes that come through with specific groups, or like common cards, and so it's like important to like kind of be able to use those same cards for like both groups. Although with the Oracle cards, I do separate those for each so we get a little more variety. And then for our last Moonology card, we have Find a Balance. We have balance right there. Crazy. Some synchronicities up in this group. Okay, let me take a look at this and then we'll get into it. Okay, you guys, let's get into your reading. So what should I start with? Let's get into some basics about your person before we go into the little storyline right down here. So with child orphan, it says right on the positive attribute, it says independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. This person is used to doing things on their own. They might be quite innocent, kind of like a child, but at the same time, they are very, very strong and very tough, I guess is the best way to put it. We see here also with the Four of Wands, this is a very serious person. They're very, how do I put this? Deliberate in their actions and deeds. They're very clear with what they want, and they take like deliberate but slow and sure steps to get there. With Turkey Spirit, give with gratitude and grace. This person, once you get to know them, is very extremely generous, especially with people they love. They give without a second thought. Like this person kind of is the type of person who's just gonna like treat you so well, basically. Like this is the type of person that, wow, they really want to share what they have, basically, and they just want to like make sure that you're well fed, I guess. Like you think of a turkey on Thanksgiving, they want to make sure you're like well fed. They want to make sure you're like taken care of, basically. 6 and 1 also adds up to 7, which is kind of a lucky number, showing me that like with this person, like there's going to be just more to give. Like this soul connection is meant to like, part of it is meant to teach you to accept like help from people, I guess is the best way to put it. Like the soul connection is meant to help you like understand that it is okay to receive help from others. And I think once you meet this person, you will learn that it is very easy to accept that help, right? Because this person kind of provides, over here, we see like a stability for you in the long run. Something I want to mention in the beginning right here, we have kind of like the timeline going through here. We start with breathe through the tension. This soul connection, there is a sense of tension when you first meet this person. And it's not necessarily the worst kind of tension, but we have full moon in Scorpio, right? So first of all, and we also have the High Priestess here. So we have kind of the High Priestess, which is a very watery energy, and we have full moon in Scorpio, which is also a very watery energy. So extremely intuitive connection we are dealing with here. So this soul family member, you're going to have a psychic bond with. It's almost as if you'll be able to read each other's thoughts. You'll be so close in that way. With full moon in Scorpio, here's the thing. When you meet this person, it's gonna be under situations where you're already dealing with a lot of like psychic, how do I put this? Things going on in your life. Like you might be dealing with a lot of, trying to find the right word. I wanted to use the word interference, but it's not quite interference. It's like stimulation, I guess is the best way to put it. It's kind of like your antenna is turned up on high alert and you're just receiving a lot of like downloads and energy from other people. And it's almost like there's a point of like being very sensitive in this particular moment, especially psychically to your environment. And so when you meet this person, they're also going through this kind of like same experience, because in a way you guys are like twins. Not exactly like twin flames, but like in a sense, you're very twinny, I guess is the best way to put it. Like when one of you is having like a lot of psychic interference, the other one is also having that. That's another reason why you guys develop the way you do, is because there's a sense of like simpatico, in the sense of like what you're going through, like with your spiritual gifts with each other. But anyway, when you first meet, this is kind of causing a little bit of a tension when you first meet each other, because what we're seeing here is that it's almost like both of you being around each other in this like, and you guys will realize with this Hangman card, you'll realize when it's time to take a break from this person and when it's time to like be with them, basically. It's interesting, this next member of your soul family, like they're meant to come in for brief periods of time and then leave and then come back in for brief periods of time again, right? There's an oscillating nature to this connection. With Breathe Through the Tension and High Priestess, we have this situation where you guys just, it's going to be good when you first meet this person. You'll recognize them because you'll be really drawn to them. Like they are a member of your soul family, so you'll be really drawn to them, right? But at the same time, there is this element where it's going to feel like a tense, almost like kind of tense connection. Basically, it's so psychic, like it's hard to explain. Like, it's like when you meet each other, you're just very aware of the other one's feelings, right? And they're very aware of your feelings. And it's kind of like slightly uncomfortable because it's like you're just open to each other and you can like see each other so clearly and fully. And so it can be a little like, kind of like in layman's terms, I guess the best way to put it is like, it's like running into someone who's very much like you or very similar to you. And kind of like they know all your faults and weaknesses before you even like talk to them, right? Like, so when you share something, it's like too close to home, right? It's like very personal. So this person has a very similar soul to yours. I am getting somewhat of a twin flame vibe. So I'm just going to put that out there that if some of you are resonating with this, thinking this is a twin flame, or you're pretty sure you're going to meet your twin flame soon, this could be a twin flame connection. But for most of you, I'm just seeing it's like twin flame vibes. It's not necessarily a twin flame. It's just, it's in a way, it's like a practice run for a twin flame, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, it's just, the vibes are so similar. You guys resonate on the same frequency is basically what I'm trying to say. The one thing I'm seeing though, is this person is more serious than you. They have more of a serious mindset and they take things close to heart, basically. But what I'm saying is when you first meet, you're going to realize this strong connection with them. For some of you, it's going to be an intense physical attraction to this person. They are a member of your soul family, but I definitely see that there's a reason why you guys, also, you don't incarnate in every single lifetime together. Like, is what I'm seeing here. It's like you skip lifetimes because the connection's so intense and the vibration is so passionate that you actually skip lifetimes with each other in order to kind of even it out. That's where this balance card comes into play, right? Is you have really worked out in like previous lives and even in this life, reasons why you come back together and like, and basically the main reason why this tension exists in the first place is to make you guys aware that you can't spend 100% of your time around each other. This person is going to be so powerful in the fact that they're going to change your life, right? They are a member of your soul family. They're going to really, this is a really catalytic relationship that actually, it's strange because in the beginning it is this sense of like instability, right? Because it seems kind of like, too chaotic, right? Or it seems like it's too stressful, or it's too much, like you guys are vibrating on the same level too much. It's like too intense, you know? But what we see here in the Emperor and the Hierophant is you guys actually reach a spiritual ascension through each other's connections, and you discover a really solid form of stability that you carry out with throughout your life, basically. So basically, you're going to recognize right off the bat with Breathe Through the Tension that this person is very much similar to you. They take things quite seriously, so you might have more serious discussions with this person. It's going to be less of a lighthearted connection, but the discussions are going to be very, very empowering and impactful. It's almost as if you guys are resonating so much in your connection with each other. You're basically psychic soulmates, I guess is the best way to put it. Because you guys, it's hard to, here's basically what's going on. It's like you have the same mind, right? But the outside body's a little different. That's what's kind of coming through with this Four of Wands card, is that kind of like, it's almost like the Four of Wands can be a twin flame card. For some tarot readers, I know a lot read it as a twin flame card, and sometimes I do as well. This is indicating a few things. So in reverse, it's indicating that it's not exactly your twin flame, right? If you're looking for a twin flame, it's not that exact twin flame connection. but it is very, very close. It's like a soul that's so similar to yours, but on the outside is very different. They're very serious on the outside. But yeah, this is definitely a soul family connection. Anyway, basically with the intensity of the psychic feelings and stuff, you guys kind of meet, but it's like both of you know when you meet each other that it's like, oh, and I just got this. Some of you may have already met this person, and this is just the break in between meeting them and getting back together with them. When you're watching this, it's like a break kind of, then you're meeting and you're going to go back and meet, like hang out with them again. Anyway, so basically with this like vibration, you guys both vibrating on such a high frequency, it gets a little intense and you guys kind of part ways, and it's almost like an understanding, right? Because in this balance card, it's like, you know, like your outside is white and you can see their inside, and their outside's black and they can see your inside. It's like very intense, and it's almost like you need a break to get to recoup and to kind of have your own space again, because it's very like the minds are kind of connected. So with this Hangman card, it's almost like, and it's interesting here, I'll show you these two things. The High Priestess has runes in the top of this card floating off in the distance. And then when you guys get this break from each other, you're looking up from above, looking down on these runes. So you can see this as kind of like a perspective shift, that getting time away from this person gives you a sense of perspective, not just to like be more true to yourself, right? Because we know this person is very much like you. It's almost like you get this break to be non-true to yourself. And I know that sounds strange, but bear with me. It's almost like because you see them and they're so much like you, or their mind is so much like you, you guys have such a similar mental connection. Taking some time away gives you a break from your mind. And it lets you kind of see your mind from an outside perspective. Because you're viewing this person, or if you're thinking about this person, it's letting you kind of see how your mind operates from an outside perspective, and in a way that's giving you like a break from your own mental processes, right? And that's giving you the space and the space you need away from them and yourself to create a stability in your life. So with the Emperor and the Hierophant, this is what we come to next. The next time you encounter them, both of you have discovered kind of like a stability with each other. And this is where it gets really beautiful, because you start to share that with each other, right? They're very independent. I'm not sure if you're quite that independent. I'm not really seeing that in the card. You may or may not be, but this person is very independent, very to themselves, very, how do I put this? Serious and almost self-sufficient, even though they do have a childlike quality to them. And maybe that's the part that's similar to both of you, is that both of you have more like childlike qualities in your imagination, or childlike qualities to part of you that kind of is what represents both of your connection to each other. Anyway, and with Turkey Spirit, give with gratitude and grace, they are going to be very gracious with you, and they're going to be very giving, especially in this period where you guys are giving each other information and kind of finding out almost like you know each other's boundaries, because you discovered them within yourself and you had breaks from each other. So when you come back together, it's this crazy synergistic aspect of like creating a sense of stability, creating a sense of structure, creating a foundation to build upon. And because you both have the same kind of perspective, the same kind of psychic connection, it fuses it's almost like a divide and conquer type thing, right? You realize this kind of like-minded thing over here. You divide, you see different areas of the world, different areas of life, what's going on. You come back together and you're like, okay, I experienced this. They're like, I experienced this. You say, I experienced this. And basically you kind of build this kind of foundation based on your experiences. That's where this like-mindedness comes into play. It's almost like you both needed to experience a whole bunch of the world, right? In order to kind of advance with each other and with, how do I put this? And to advance spiritually and to find a balance in your life, to find a stability in your life. And what I'm seeing here is that this time away, it's like a divide and conquer mindset, like, okay, how are we going to explore this? How are you going to explore this world? I'll take the West Hemisphere, you take the East Hemisphere. When we come back together, we share our discoveries and we like absorb each other's information. I'm telling you, the downloads you guys will get with each other because of this psychic connection are going to be so beneficial. It's just that you need kind of that time away to experience your own lives individually. You're meant to kind of coalesce and reconnect and kind of vibe with each other at different intervals after you've been split apart, you know? And with Find a Balance, that's kind of the cool thing that you guys get with each other is you learn and you help each other balance things out. Not only are you finding a balance within your own connection, you're also finding a balance in life itself, helping each other to build that stability that you can like work off of, right? By giving each other more and more information, right? It's interesting. You go out to the world, you take that break from each other to collect that information, and then that psychic connection just is that those downloads are immediate. So this is someone who's more of like I'm sensing someone who's like kind of like a work colleague or something like that, or like there's some area of interest that feels more like a hobby or a job that like this person could actually have this own same hobby or something, and you both explore different like elements outside of your connection that you come back to share and discover what this would be a great situation. This person in your soul family could be a great story friend, right? So like maybe this is a person that maybe when you finally get married to your future spouse and they get married to their future spouse, you guys have separate lives and separate stories, and then you kind of visit each other on holidays or something and converse about all your experiences and all of your connections and all of your stories and share those. It's a really good time for that kind of thing with this type of person. And it's interesting, in those brief moments where you guys come back together, there is a sense of balance, right? There is a sense of camaraderie, connection, and balance. I'm trying to see if I see anything else. I know there was something I thought of earlier. I'm just trying to recall it now. Yeah, with the Hierophant here, you guys are both going to help each other spiritually ascend. And with this guy smiling and laughing, I definitely see you guys coming back together and sharing some pretty entertaining stories, you know? Stories with kind of a sense of psychic knowing that what the other one's going through, because you're very similar to them. You're like almost identical to them. So there is this sense of like psychic knowing of like, wow, you went through that. I know your vibe. Like I know what you're going through because I would have done the same thing in that situation, but I didn't live it. So I'm getting the download from you, you know? It's like having new, fresh experiences in someone's story because the empathy is so connected and so close. Yeah, I definitely see this person really being very gracious. Every time you interact with this person, or when you like meet up with this person, or you like have a conversation with this person, they're going to be super gracious and they're going to have a very giving nature, right? And I see that you're also going to have a giving nature for them, but mainly them to you. They just adore you so much that they want to give you the world. It's just that with this kind of connection, they can't be there 100% of the time, right? So I wouldn't like rely on this person as far as like a form of support or anything like that, because this person's really just trying to like show their care and affection towards you. Yeah. This is a really cool connection. And full moon in Scorpio and full moon in Libra, they're both full moons and they're right next to each other in the zodiac. You know, I think Libra comes right before Scorpio. And so you got this kind of like really beautiful synergy of being like so close to being identical, but being just one off from each other and kind of finding that balance in between those things. Another thing too is full moon in Scorpio and full moon in Libra. These could be time periods where you either maybe took the break from each other, or like maybe you meet here, or like you're meeting in this time period and then you take a break and maybe the next year you kind of meet in the same time period or something like that. For some of you, this could be a love connection or like an affair or something like that, or this could be like a situation where if this is a love interest in your soul family, that there could be a situation where you kind of like meet up for different time periods for like work or something, or maybe they live in another country or you live in this country and you guys have to meet up at different times. There is just this general feeling with this soul family member of like separation and like divide and conquering, right? And the fact that you guys are somewhat different, temperamentally, I don't know if that's the right word. You're just somewhat different in your approach to life. They're a little bit more serious. You might be a little more playful, right? But it still works in the end. With the Emperor card and the Hierophant card, you both spiritually ascend when you're together with each other. And with the Emperor card, you're building this security, you're building this stability, you're building this foundation for your life. It kind of feels comforting to be around this person because it's like, you know, they're like on your wavelength, basically. Very cool. So I think that's the end of the reading for this pile. If you like that reading, feel free to like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. I really enjoyed reading for you guys in this group. I've known a few connections that are like this in my life, and they're always like very loving and caring and also entertaining, because the stories are like so real, you know, because you have that strong sense of empathy and that psychic bond with each other. You kind of know what the other person's going through without having to like, even you like hearing the story, but at the same time you're knowing their inner feelings that they're going through too. So it's like really that kind of close connection. Anyway, we're going to move on to group 3 with the black kyanite. Hello, group 3. This is if you picked the black kyanite. So let's get into your reading. So I drew the oracle cards first. We're going to draw the tarot cards on camera, shuffle on camera in just a little bit. Who is the next member of your soul family? We had these cards flip up upright. This one actually flipped up down, but then I flipped it up on accident and I just kept it up because I saw it and might as well. So these cards I'm going to flip over after when we get the tarot cards out. But the cards that flipped up upright are Alchemist, and Full Moon and Sagittarius, see the bigger picture. So those might be important cards in the reading. Now to get to the shuffling of the tarot cards. So what tarot cards need to come through? Wow. This one has come out in all of the readings today. The Hierophant. Okay, what else needs to come through for the black kyanite group? This is kind of like my spiritual ascension card, so it's funny that it keeps coming out with like all these groups. That means like all the connections in your soul family are like spiritual, or so far they're very spiritual for most of the groups. So I think we're gonna have to draw the rest of them. Okay. Okay, so your other oracle cards, we have Trust the Universe, First Quarter Moon in Aquarius. And for your animal oracle card, we have Elephant Spirit, Learn from the Past. And then for your love story oracle card, we have Fun. Okay, I was getting that with this too, actually. Let's see what else the tarot cards are saying. We have Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords, 9 of Wands reversed, and 10 of Pentacles. Okay, let me take a look at this and then we'll get on with the reading. Okay, let's get into your reading. So this is an interesting spread because as of right now, looking over everything, I know what like pretty much every card represents in the reading, except this Two of Swords is sticking out like a sore thumb. So I'm curious what it represents, or if that has anything to do with kind of the rest of the reading, the fact that it sticks out kind of obscurely compared to everything else. So I'm just going to get into the reading, and if this comes up, it comes up. So let's get into your person. So first we have Alchemist, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So this is the type of person who, it's interesting because we see here with the Page of Pentacles, this is a very young soul. So this is a member of your soul family that you kind of decided was going to be a new member of your soul family. So like through many lifetimes you've had together with this person, or that you've had without this person, you finally decided like, we're going to add this new soul on. So this is a relatively new soul. They're incarnating with you. If they've incarnated with you in the past, it's only been a couple of times, so it's a very fresh experience, even though they are a member of your soul family. They're in a way like a guide, and we'll get to that in a second. And they're also very, very smart. So you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but from what I know about like souls and stuff and incarnating, from what I've heard on other channels too, is that souls, I think, can like incarnate from other worlds. So this person might be from like another world. They might be very new to this planet and from another world, but at the same time, they have like a lot of wisdom from their life on this other world. So they have a lot of otherworldly wisdom, I guess is the best way to put it. With alchemists, we have transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So they're really going to help you get with whatever your goal is. They're going to help you like understand it and get it into like the ethers, basically. And when we see here with the 10 of Pentacles and see the bigger picture, the overall arcing theme that gets expanded upon is like finding the rest of the members of your soul family. So it's interesting that the first person you find is going to like introduce you to the rest of the members of your soul family. It's as if this person has been like watching your whole soul family together for many like lifetimes that they've lived, but this watching from afar, never really incarnating on earth with them, but just kind of observing them from afar, and then kind of like deciding like, okay, now's the time, or in this lifetime, like I'm gonna help them find each other, right? Like maybe this time it was like a little bit harder for you guys to all find each other. So if you came to this reading and you're thinking like it's difficult to find my soul family, or I feel like I don't connect with anyone on that level, this person is coming in to help you find those people that you really do connect with on that level. Basically, they're pointing out the way, they're pointing out who the soul family is, basically. So first of all, so let's just get this person. For alchemist, it says transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So whatever the goal is, if you came to this reading and the goal is to find your soul family, or to find more members of your soul family, they're going to help with that golden wisdom. They have the wisdom basically to help you find those members of your soul family. There could also be other things in this world that you're trying to find, and then they're going to help you find those as well. So for example, if you have a goal to like find like a new job, or you have a goal to find kind of like a love interest, or you have a goal to find kind of like a new car, or anything really, this person's going to help you find those things very easily, right? They have a good like sniffer, like they follow their nose, I guess is the best way to put it, and so they kind of know where to go to like find the best thing or the new thing or the next thing, and they can help people kind of find their way, right? And it kind of comes off as wisdom, with learn from the past. This is all from like their past experiences, right? And with elephant spirit, it's interesting. You think of elephant spirits as very old souls, right? But they're obviously a very young person, right? So they have this kind of mix of both, right? Because they've watched your whole soul family in your life from afar. It's almost like this person used to be like a spirit guide of yours, or some kind of guide that guided you for a while, but they never actually incarnated on earth with you. And now they're actually like on the planet with you. They're kind of like your friend, or they're kind of like someone who's they might even also show up as a younger person too. And the one thing you're going to really like recognize about them too is like with this trust the universe card and the third eye, and also learn from the past. One thing that I was picking up earlier is that this person is going to seem like someone from your past, or like they're going to represent like maybe an old friend that you had that you really connected with in your childhood, right? And maybe the thing is you might start dreaming of this friend, like before you meet this person, kind of having dreams like, oh my gosh, okay, like why am I thinking of, Sarah Johnson from the 3rd grade or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, this person comes into play that's like looks somewhat similar to her, like slightly looks like her, but there might be like something off or something different. You're like, whoa, she has the same vibe as my friend from, elementary school or whatever. And that's because you're getting like psychic signals of the familiarity, because that's the thing that's going to bond you guys in the beginning, right? Is that sense of like knowing where to start from to like build the connection, right? So learn from the past. This is just pointing out that this person, you can think of this person too as kind of like a very magical influence, I guess is the best. That's what's coming through very strongly, is this person's very magical, but they're really tapped into your life. They're really tapped into your life story and your patterns. And so they might not realize it in this lifetime, right? Like if they've just come in and they've incarnated on earth, they might not have the memories of these experiences, but they're so connected to you in this way. They kind of understand the characters in your life, how the characters played out, how the characters develop. They understand where the characters will go. This person's really good with relationships and connections with relationships, knowing kind of like what relationships you're going to encounter or meet in the future based on your past mistakes, your past experiences. And so with this dreaming card, with first quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe, this is just indicating that the universe will be sending you signs about this person. And it's important to trust those signs because this person coming in might be someone that you might not expect. They're going to seem familiar, but they might not be someone that you expected to see. Like this childhood friend that you imagined from, third grade or whatever, Sarah Johnson, for my example. She might not have been someone you were particularly close with, right? But you just recognized her or saw her at some point. This person coming in is going to resemble that person that you're kind of dreaming of. You're dreaming of Sarah Johnson, but this person coming in is going to resemble her a little bit. There might also be, for some of you, I'm seeing something about dreaming of someone who is, say, like a girl, and then this person ending up being like a guy. Or dreaming of someone that was a guy that you knew in fourth grade, and then being like a girl that kind of looks like that guy. So there's a sense of gender swap as well for some of you. Let's see, what else am I saying? The one thing you're going to notice about this person right away, and with the Hierophant right away, is the fun card. The first thing you're going to notice about this member of your soul family is you're going to feel spiritually uplifted. First things first, you're going to feel very, how do I explain this? Heightened, enlightened, lighter than air. With this staircase right here, you're going to feel like you're kind of walking the staircase into the sky. And with this fun card over here with these hot air balloons, it's going to feel like you're floating into space. This person's going to be so much fun. You guys are going to have a really good time. At least when you first start the connection. This is interesting because I'm seeing this card as kind of a sense of confusion or your thoughts getting the best of you. And it's just coming to me right now, which is interesting. It didn't come to me at the beginning of this reading. I think it's because it's the only kind of negative thing in the reading. And I think your person's kind of coming through right now, your member of your soul family, to tell you that these things aren't important and that you'll both overcome them. Or they're going to help you overcome them. So if you have any paranoid thoughts, or if you have two warring sides to your personality, or you have debates going on in your head all the time, they're saying don't worry about that. Don't stress about it. It's not that important. It's literally one piece that's just there, that's kind of just existing, but you don't need to focus on it, right? When I came to this reading, I noticed what all of the cards meant except for this one. And then all of a sudden, this one just came into play right now. So this is a small little blip on the whole big picture of the reading, right? It was also one of the cards that was flipped like this. So keep that in mind. This is just something they're pointing out, is that you're going to have this element in the connection with them. And something else that I want to point out is this part of yourself, if you're worried about this, or this is something you think about a lot, or kind of the warring thoughts in your head, or kind of battling it out, different perspectives in your own mind of different things going on in your own head. This is something that they're just telling you when you meet them, just ignore it. Don't focus on this too much. You're going to have so much more to discuss in kind of the external spiritual world and to have fun with this person, that it's important to kind of ignore these types of thoughts in your head. Even also, it could bring a little bit of difficulties into the relationship if you focus on these thoughts, or kind of how do I put this? If you kind of make these warring thoughts in your head, I'm saying warring waring, you're there at war, your thoughts are literally at war in your own head. That if you focus on these warring thoughts, then it's going to not help the connection so much if you're focused on trying to solve this problem right away. I'm seeing for some of you, this problem is going to get solved further down the line. This person really is meant to introduce you to more people, right? This person really is meant to bring in more people into your environment and create that kind of environment around you of people, connections, family, lovers, friends. I said lovers, but some of you are probably only wanting one lover. So a lover, but yeah, and one of those people in that soul family might help you with this issue. That's not coming through in the cards right now, so don't worry about that, because they're bringing in a lot of other blessings that are really going to help in the future. And with see the big picture, they're trying to get you to see the big view, right? Remember, they've been kind of watching you from afar, right? They know your kind of history. They know the history your soul family's been through. They have an instinctive feeling of what types of people you're going to get along with, basically, on the most realistic level, taking away all the spiritual wordisms. of the reading, this is a person who knows who you connect with. They know who you get along with. They know who you're going to vibe with because they're kind of, in a way, familiar with you in kind of like some kind of abstract sense, I guess is the best way to put it. But the way I'm seeing it is that they've been watching you from afar, right? This person could have been a guide in a past life, and now they're incarnating with you in this life. Yeah, something they're going to help you with Nine of Wands, they're going to help you get rid of the past, right? And they're also going to be a guiding light. If you look at this woman, she has that kind of light at the top of her scepter. And so she kind of has that knowing look too. She kind of has this like, I know what's up, you know? So this person's going to be like a, kind of like a guiding light. And they're also going to help you get rid of the past. They're going to help you kind of like, on one hand, they're going to bring in a family for you, a connection for you, a lineage for you. But this person truly is an alchemist. So think of an alchemist. An alchemist kind of like mixes chemicals, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. They're mixing different chemicals. They're mixing different elements. They're mixing components in your life together to create a golden lifestyle, to create a golden world for you. And so you're going to have fun doing this. It's not going to be that stressful. Don't think it's going to be super heady or like an issue, right? This person's a lot of fun. This person's going to be a good time. You're going to laugh a lot. Every joke you have with this person, you're going to ascend higher and higher spiritually. Yeah, and then with the Nine of Wands, they just help you release things that you're holding on to too much of, you know, or things that like need to be let go of or to like send into the past, you know. They keep your life basically not boring and stagnant. They keep it like fun, fresh, exciting. This is why the Page of Pentacles came through, because they're going to have a very youthful energy, or they're going to be younger than you in some way. They're going to bring a lot of life into your life, basically. At the same time, they're kind of like this little like social connector fairy, I guess you could say, because with the Ten of Pentacles right here, they're going to really introduce you to the rest of your soul family. So if you feel like you have not met anyone from your soul family, if you came to this pile, and I'm guessing a lot of you who came to this pile have felt like, okay, I didn't really connect with anyone in this lifetime yet. I don't even know if I have a soul family. Well, they're showing you the way to your soul family. They're showing you the way to the people that are going to be the ones that are sticking for life, right? And with the Ten of Pentacles, this also indicates that some of the members of your soul family that you might be overlooking are actually members of your actual family. So this could be like your mother, your father, your sister, cousins, aunts, uncles. That's for some of you. Let's see the bigger picture. They're trying to get you to see the big view. Remember, they already have that big view. They've been watching you from afar. They know your life patterns, your life stories, and they decided, I'm going to incarnate on earth with this person. I'm going to be this person's soulmate in this lifetime. So that's really cool. And with full moon in Sagittarius, it's interesting because I see this person is also benefiting from seeing you, right? I see this person as them in the middle of this desert, right? With their bow and arrow, which has nothing to do with my example, but I'll just point it out. But they're in the middle of this desert, right? And they're kind of been lonely. Like when they're watching you from afar, they've kind of, whatever place they came from, if they're like a starseed or whatever, wherever their soul was before it came to earth, they were watching you from afar and they felt lonely and they felt like they wanted to be in a connection with you. So this person also is going to feel very grateful for your presence and your company. They were kind of lost and alone before they met you. You know, they kind of were dealing with some things. And so now when they meet you, they're going to have this like really fun connection that, you know, they've probably never experienced before as well, you know? So it's like, it's going to be a really beautiful thing. Let me see if I can see anything else. Yeah, a thing that I want to mention with this Two of Swords, if I didn't really make my point, just don't focus on it. Like if you have a lot of heady thoughts, or maybe you're feeling like paranoid or something, just enjoy the connection. Don't worry too much about what your thoughts are telling you in your head, especially if you know they're kind of nagging anyway, like these two birds kind of nagging this woman, you know? If they're kind of just nagging you and you're blindfolded and you can't really see what's going on anyway, you might as well just let the thoughts hit and just kind of enjoy the rest of your life, you know? Sometimes these things happen to us, like we get in our heads, or like we have these repeated thoughts that kind of cycle through our minds. There's other ways to get over this, like, I mean, sometimes people do shadow work to get over this, or sometimes other people do like meditations, like just calming the mind and breathing through it can help, like taking deep breaths to breathe through these thoughts. But this is not something this person's supposed to help you with. They're not supposed to help you with the inner world, inner confines of your own mind, your inner world. They're meant to help you with your outer connections, the people coming into your life. They're bringing in the correct people to have the most fun and the most happiest times, right? Learn from the past means they know from any story you tell them about your past and how you grew up or anything like that, they can see and predict kind of the connections you're going to have in the future, you know? They're kind of intuitive in a way, you know? With it, but it's interesting with the Page of Pentacles here. They have more of like a grounded, fun side too. They're not going to be super like heady or spiritual or kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, like airy or like, even though your connection's going to feel like airy, you guys are going to feel like you're floating. They're more like down to earth as a person. Perfect. Yeah. Trust the universe just shows that beginning connection of this with the dream that you're going to have with this person. It is an indicator to trust in what's coming. So trusting in the universe is going to be really important in this when you have those kinds of like inklings or it might not even be a dream, but if you start thinking of someone from your past and you're like, whoa, you know, I really wanted to connect with them, or I never really knew them that well, or I never was close with them. And then you meet this person and they're like very similar to that person. That's your sign, you know, that this is the next person in your soul family for you. Okay, I think that about covers it. Yeah. All right, well, if you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. With that said, we're going to move on to the last group, group number 4 with the blue apatite. Hey, group 4, this is if you picked the blue apatite. So pretty stone. Yeah, so the cards that flipped up upright were Swan Spirit, Time for a Deep Dive, and Hope. One thing I want to mention with Swan Spirit, this card doesn't come out of my readings often. Like I draw the Swan card from my other animal oracle deck quite often, but it never comes out of this deck. So this is the first time I've seen this card out of this deck. Like I actually can't recall seeing it like ever when I flip through the deck or anything, which is crazy. I know it exists. It's been in there. I just have never seen it, or like it's like someone just came in last night and slipped this card into the deck because I don't remember it at all. I haven't seen it in a while. So it's really brand new to me. So this person might come as a bit of a surprise, like someone you've just never seen before. So this next member of your soul family might be someone that's just kind of like new or like different than what you've ever experienced. Let's flip. Well, these cards all flipped down right. So I'll get to those after I flip over the tarot cards, but let's do some tarot card shuffling for the next person that is coming in, that is a member of your soul family. So let's do some shuffling and draw some cards for here. We have this card over here. We have 6 of Pentacles. And we'll draw from this part of the deck. We'll have those 2. So the 6 of Pentacles did appear upright in this scenario. So that might be a significant card, as well as these ones being significant. This teal color is coming in strong. I'll have to flip over the other cards and see what else we get, but just something to point out right now. So let's flip over all your other cards. We have, for your archetype card, we have Mentor. And for your rest of your cards, we have Full Moon in Gemini, Embrace the Flow of Life. And for your tarot cards, we have 6 of Cups, 2 of Cups, the Wheel, and 10 of Wands. And then also over here, we have New Moon in Cancer, Relax. Oh, that's cute at the end. Okay, let me take a look at this and then we'll get into the reading. Okay, let's get into your guys' reading. So, first of all, we have a few things here to discuss. Okay, with the Mentor card, This card says, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. This just indicates that this person coming in is going to be somewhat of a teacher for you. They're going to teach you a lot about life and a lot about different experiences going on in the world or that you're dealing with. They're going to really like help you and walk you through areas of personal growth in kind of a loving and caring way, basically. With Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. This is a person who is very deep and, how do I put this? Has a very deep inner core of like philosophy and wisdom, but they don't share it with others. Whenever I get a Swan card in a reading, it's someone who is kind of like shows it's like what you see is what you get, right? But it's interesting. In this reading, it's not the same card as I normally see. So we don't see a reflection of the swan, right? We just see these beautiful flowers billowing below the swan's body. So what I'm seeing here is there's almost an element that they're going to let you see what's inside. Like if you think of these flowers as shells and them opening up and revealing, it's like this person's going to reveal their inner deep well of like feeling to you, basically, or inner deep well of experiences. Anyway, this gives you a lot of hope. This is kind of like a member of your soul family where it's like you've never seen someone like this before. Swans are very beautiful too. So, and with the 2 of Cups here and the 6 of Cups, this is a strong connection, especially with the wheel as well. This is a strong possibility that the next member of your soul family is a romantic member, or at least for a period of time will be a romantic member of your soul family. So this is someone who you're almost meant to build a connection with them in a loving way, in a romantic way. Even if you guys stay friends afterwards and the relationship doesn't last for forever, the point is, and it could last for forever because this is a member of your soul family. If you want to marry one of your soulmates or a member of your soul family, that's perfectly okay. You can do that. I'm just seeing that like this person, in order to create this connection, there might have to be some elements of romantic moments with both of you. And I'm definitely saying that's going to be really easy because with hope here, you meet this person and with this couple, like in this card, just kind of kissing in the galaxy, right? This is something where you feel like, whoa, like I didn't know people like this existed. Like it's almost like you've been searching for a relationship for like a while maybe, or like maybe you felt like you've searched every single place, you've known every single person, you've known every single type, you're very aware of every human being on the planet, and you've been around long enough to know that there's everyone's a certain way, or there's a certain type to everyone and everyone's predictable, blah blah blah. Now with Hope card, this is like a breath of fresh air. This is like when with embracing the flow of life, we have a very similar thing here with hope and embracing the flow of life. There's something about the Star card in tarot where she's pouring that water into the lake and on the earth and kind of nurturing it. But the flow is the more important thing here, right? The flow and the hope. So with this Hope card, when you meet this person, it's almost like, whoa, I did not know a person like this could exist. And it's almost like this person's so beautiful on the outside, but at the same time, they reveal their inside and it's equally beautiful. Like I'm really drawn to these flowers, and to me, they're just so strikingly beautiful. And because I've never seen this card in my deck before, I have no recollection of it. This person is going to feel brand spanking new to you. Like you will have not met a person like this in your life ever before. They'll be like no one else you've met. And they're going to just like hit you kind of like, they're going to make you feel hopeful. As soon as you meet them, you're going to start feeling hopeful. You're like, whoa, there's good people out there. There's better people out there. I thought that like I had met all of them. I thought that I had been through it all. But this new person's going to enter your life, this member of your soul family, and they're going to be so like a breath of fresh air. Now, this comes about because with Embrace the Flow of Life, full moon in Gemini, this comes about because it's almost like in certain areas of your life, you were almost blocked off or you weren't embracing what destiny had in mind for you. So there could have been moments where you kind of were like traveling upstream or kind of like going against the grain, kind of like trying to make things happen with kind of like your willpower more than letting things happen to you. And so what I'm seeing here with Embrace the Flow of Life is you meet this person as soon as you start sacrificing yourself to the universe and letting things take hold or like experiences take hold and releasing some control. with full moon in Gemini, there's two people here in this card. And I'm definitely seeing that there is an element, right, where there's two sides to life, you know? And with this Gemini card, it's like on one hand, there's an element of like controlling and forcing and using what's going on in your life to like make advancements and to move yourself forward. That's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is to kind of like embrace what's happening to you, embrace what's going on to you, accepting circumstances around you and flowing with that. If you get an invite or an opportunity to somewhere, letting yourself go with that invite, following those instincts or following those moments that the universe is opening their arms for you to pull you out from where you are. So there's two sides to the situation. With you, I see specifically is it's a matter of balancing your free will with your aspect of fate and destiny, right? And so it's a matter of knowing like the flow of life, like when to push, when to pull, when to float, when to soar, when to jump, when to dive, like, you know, all these different things, like you're learning how to navigate. And once you kind of get the flow down, that's kind of when you meet this person, right? It's kind of like you fall, and it's almost not like you have to try too hard, because I don't want to say get the flow down like you have to try to do it, because that's not the case at all. It's almost like it happens to you. Like you have a few things or a few choices you make here and there, and you just kind of slip into this flow and you're like, whoa, wow, I figured that out. You know, like you get this little flow or something, and that's where you kind of run into this person because you tap into some kind of bigger stream of intelligence than you, right? Some higher power than you, and you flow into the kind of space that it's guiding you towards. Now with Swan Spirit, because this person is so brand spanking new and they cause so much hope, we have with Six of Cups and Two of Cups, a few things happening here. With Six of Cups, this person is going to feel, how do I explain this? Very familiar. And with this card, it's going to feel like, I don't know, this with the dog here, I'm wondering if you've ever had like a pet or some kind of companion or friend that you really like grew up a long time with, and then you kind of like, it's like this kind of, it's like a sense of longevity here, right? With this kid and his puppy, and then this dad and his puppy, or the kid growing up to the dad. Anyway, so, yeah, there's a sense of longevity here that you can kind of see yourself growing old with this person. You can kind of see yourself getting older with them. And with Six of Cups, this is basically the nostalgia, that like beautiful feeling of connection and nostalgia that this person brings you. I mean, they're so beautiful. They're going to feel like someone out of a dream, right? And with this Two of Cups card, it just indicates that you really want to start a connection with them. You really want to start a relationship with them. This is kind of an indication that you know they're your soulmate. You know that this person is part of your soul family. And it's really beautiful. We have all the chakra colors pouring out of these people's hands, indicating a sense of like really strong awakening of energy and balance. And so there's this element of like wanting to be connected right away. There's this element of like feeling like this person is a sense of home, or a sense of feeling like you're almost young again. Like it brings you back to youth, because it's almost like seeing all these people throughout your life that have all been kind of like carbon copies of other people, and everyone's kind of somewhat similar to someone else and all this stuff. It's almost left you feeling a bit jaded, right? So to meet a brand spanking new person who's completely different than anyone you've ever met before, this brings you into a state of mind of like your childhood, because you're like, whoa, this is like when I was a kid and I was discovering people and experiences for the first time, right? This person is really meant to awaken that energy in you, that energy of nostalgia and childlike play, right? And you might be thinking like, me, childlike play? No way, you know, because I can definitely see that like, there's something about being hardened, because with this Hope card and the Six of Cups, you're really renewed. Like there's a sense of this connection brings a sense of renewal, right? And it's all because you're flowing better with life. You're flowing in a better stream of life, right? When you meet this person after some time, with this Two of Cups card, I'm definitely seeing like a connection that lasts a long time, or like this point in the spread of like your guys' connection could be a long time. Like you guys could be together for a while, kind of just enjoying kind of like a relationship. Like I said, this seems very romantic, or this seems very intimate right off the bat for most of you. There's could be some of you that this is a friendship, but the only way I'm seeing that friendship is if this person ends up being someone of like, maybe like, you know, if you're attracted to the opposite sex, this would be someone of like the same sex. So it's like someone that you wouldn't really like, how do I put this? It would be someone you wouldn't really be romantically interested in, but like they're just a brand spanking new person. But for a lot of you, I think for some of you too, this could even include someone who, even if you're not attracted to that gender or something like that, this person would still draw your interest like to a really strong degree, and you might like really want to get involved with them romantically, but be like conflicted about it. I'm definitely seeing like a very strong physical and like intimate attraction between this member of your soul family and you. With the Wheel card here, there's a lot of serendipitous, lucky circumstances that are going to happen in your connection with this person. And this is someone you're going to have for a long time. So like with the soul family members I've been reading for in some of the other groups, some people come in for a little bit and then separate, or, you know, different things of that nature. Or maybe they come in at like a certain time and then leave for a while. This person's going to be here for a long time. We see that with the Two of Cups. We see that with the Six of Cups with the longevity. And with the Wheel card, there's a lot of lucky, fortuitous things happening with you. One thing that I think that is like going to help you guys grow, and what I think that they're meant to teach you with, I got the Mentor card, right, for a reason. They're really meant to teach you things, right? There is this beautiful connection and like how the connection starts, but it seems to me that you're kind of like an overworker, or I don't know if an overachiever is the right word. You just overburden yourself a lot. Or I'm seeing that you take on too much, or you're kind of going through a lot, and you're kind of like, how do I put this? It seems like just with all the luggage these two are carrying, it's like you have a lot of weight on your shoulders, and you've traveled a long way to like get to where you are by carrying so much weight, carrying so much load. And what I'm seeing with the Six of Pentacles is they're meant to like help lighten your load, right? So this could even be on an intellectual level, because I'm seeing that their inner world is kind of like so beautiful to you. It's almost like it kind of purges out the kind of like inner cobwebs in your mind. So this could be a mental thing, but for the most part with 10 of Wands and the Six of Pentacles here, this could be a very like unburdening of yourself, basically. So they could be taking on a lot of responsibilities that you used to take on and doing them instead of you. And I'm seeing for some of you, there's a sense, because this is later in the reading, there's a sense that there's this control aspect here. And control is not really the right word. It's just you're used to doing things on your own, and you're used to doing a lot of the responsibilities on your own. And this person kind of takes on some of those responsibilities. They're kind of like, okay, I'm going to take this, or I'm going to help you here. With the Six of Pentacles, it's all about a rebalancing to get things fair and equivalent, right? There's a little bit of generosity here, and then someone's being a little, you know, they take in this moment and they give in that moment, all to create balance and equality amongst all, right? And so this is really going to even out some of these responsibilities, and they're really going to help you with this new moon in Cancer. They're really going to help you relax. And once the more you guys get to this relaxed state of being, the more you feel relaxed with each other, the more this kind of process goes, and the more they teach you things in life, and kind of through their teaching you, they're kind of unburdening you, basically. They're going to teach you a lot, basically. Things that you probably have never known about or seen or heard before. And with the new moon in Cancer with relax, they're really going to help you relax in the truest sense of the word. Yeah, I see you guys kind of like spending a lot of like quality time together in really relaxing environments, either on vacation or at home, or going out to eat, or just kind of like really enjoying your time together. Maybe going to parks and laying in the grass and looking up at the trees, stuff like that. Like I just see really a really solid close connection, and a really calming connection, right? It's interesting. We have full moon in Gemini and we have new moon in Cancer, right? And Gemini and Cancer are right next to each other in the zodiac wheel, right? And it's interesting, we have the wheel here as well. So, and this is the time of the summer solstice when both of these two signs meet. And it's really a time of like the most daylight in the world, right? The sun is shining at its brightest, or, I mean, for some people, depending on what hemisphere you live in. In the hemisphere I live in, it's like the brightest time in the, wait, would it be dependent on the hemisphere? I'm just going to keep going with my analogy. I can't fact check right now. I'm too in the flow. Anyway, it's like the brightest day of the year, right? And so there's the most illumination, the most light, the most warmth. Like, and that's what I'm really getting with this connection is there's a sense of illumination. There's a sense of seeing things for the first time, or opening up your eyes and opening away from darkness and into light, basically. They're really going to illuminate a lot of areas of life for you, and kind of areas where, you know, you may not have like thought about to consider, right? We also have light and shadow over here with the wheel. You know, they're going to kind of like help you see those things that you kind of didn't really want to look at, but then realize you do want to look at those things, you know, because they're illuminating them in such a way that makes them really beautiful and I don't know, extravagant, and somewhat like, extravagant's the wrong word, just special to look at. Yeah, with New Moon in Cancer, I just see the kind of culmination, you guys kind of ending your connection in a really relaxed connection, it kind of settling into something that's really relaxed and comfortable. Even if you guys split up, or you guys become, say you're not friends anymore or something like that, or not friends, if you're not in a relationship anymore, I still see you guys being friends for a very long time, like still having that solid connection for a very long time. I see this relationship, even if the connection is over here and lasts a long time, even when you guys become friends, I see them still teaching you things, still helping you unload your burden, still helping you kind of with different things in your lifestyle. They're always going to be there for you. You know, they're a very loyal person in this way, or your connection's very loyal. You're very loyal to them and they're very loyal to you. And if you're thinking, you know what, like, I don't have anyone I want to be dependent on. I want to be independent. Like, I don't want to, you know, tie myself down. It's not even, you're going to surprise yourself, because you're going to want that kind of connection. Like by the time you meet this person, you're going to desire and crave that kind of intimate moment where you're like so close that you would serve this person. Six of Pentacles can also be about service or helping those out in need. And sometimes this card shows up in like almost the most selfless acts of giving. So yeah, that is the next member of your soul family that you're going to meet. Yeah, that's the end of your guys' reading. If you like that reading, feel free to like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. With that said, that was the last pile for this reading. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Have a good day or night, and goodbye.